most surprising truth of Christmas is you cannot build a bridge to God. God is going to have to build a bridge for you. This is what Jesus said, that all those the Father gives me will come to me. And whoever comes to me, I will never drive away. God's invitation list to celebrate his son's birthday was so surprising, but even more surprising is how he planned to pay for the party. And this might be the most stunning and shocking thing about what we believe regarding salvation that was foreshadowed at Christmas. And that's just the way God plans to forgive us of our sins. You understand, every religion has a get right with God plan. Every religion does. Every religion says you've got to build a bridge of God, and here's how you do it. Now, they give you different tools. One might say pray more prayers, and one might say give more alms, and one might say do more ritual, and one might say bring more offerings. But they all say, here's the tools to build your bridge to get right with God. It reminds me of a story I love to tell at Christmas time. The grandma that was too old to travel and be with her family for Christmas. She didn't know what they wanted. She decided, I'm going to send money to everybody, and they can go get what they want. So she went to the bank, and she got a lot of cash, and she put it in piles for each member of the family, and she bought envelopes, and she addressed them, and she wrote a note inside all of them, and she mailed them, and to her horror, Christmas morning, she sees all those stacks of cash. She forgot to put the money in the cards. So Christmas Day, her family opens her cards. Buy your own gift, Grandma. This is what religion does. You see, the most surprising truth of Christmas is you cannot build a bridge to God. God is going to have to build a bridge for you. Now remember, Matthew's readers almost all were Jewish people. They had a way to build a bridge. They had a get right with God plan. They'd been doing it for centuries. You go to the temple, you take a lamb, you take a goat, you make yourself right with God. What they didn't understand, it wasn't the plan. It was just pointing to the plan. And so the Hebrew writer says, chapter 10, it's impossible for the blood of bulls and goats to take away sins. And therefore, when Christ came into the world, he said, sacrifice and offering you did not desire, but a body you prepared for me. With burnt offerings and sin offerings you were not pleased. We needed a bridge, and we can build it. Do you know that's God's greatest challenge? I don't know if you ever think about God having challenges. And by the way, creating the universe was not a challenge to God. Dealing with an angel rebellion, that was not a challenge to God. Here's God's biggest challenge. How is he going to stay in relationship with his image bearers and his beloved children when they are dark and he's perfect light? How's that going to happen? When you turn your back on God and cut yourself off from God because he's life, you die. The wages of sin is death. And only man could pay that penalty. Only God had the capacity to pay it because he's perfect light and not sin. Man should pay it. Only God could pay it. What you going to do? And in a wisdom that only God possesses, he conceived the answer. He was conceived. God became flesh. The God-man came to us. He became one of us to save all of us. Because the answer to God's greatest challenge couldn't be spoken. It had to be suffered. So listen again to Hebrews. And then Jesus said, here I am. It's written about me in the scroll. I have come to do your will, my God. And by that will, we've been made holy through the sacrifice of the body of Jesus Christ once for all. Our minds are too feeble to understand what Jesus emptied himself of till he would become a baby. He left the perfectness of heaven for the fallenness of earth. He left the riches of glory to grow up in absolute poverty. The name that was above every name grew up in a no-name town with no-name family. We can't fathom how much he gave up to come to that manger. But if that manger was as far as he came, we would still die in our sins. He would not have come far enough to save. Amos could not preach our sins away. Aaron couldn't sacrifice them away. Moses couldn't legislate them away. Miriam could not dance enough, and Jeremiah could not weep enough, and David could not worship enough, and Daniel could not pray enough. Christmas rebukes every build your own bridge plan there is. Only the second Adam could save the first. And on that cross where Jesus died, the wrath of God was satisfied. It was a bridge that no one saw coming except the one who built it.